as we all know how how basketball is in the UK, what are your thoughts on how do you see the culture of basketball in the UK and just UK basketball in general, and sort of any like the goods, the bads, the ugly, the great, you know, what
I
things
feel like it's definitely picking up. Like the love for basketball is definitely picking up. I feel like when I was younger, I mean, I come from Essex, so like most people in Essex play football anyway. But and right now I'm living in London, so I think a lot more people in London play basketball anyway.
yeah,
But I feel like younger people are definitely playing basketball more than they were. And I think a big part of that is the NBA with like the global reach. And in the NBA as well, there's a lot more. There are a lot more European players than there used to be.
yeah,
So I think that's a big thing. Uh, the BBO is pretty accessible. Like they got a little presence on Instagram and Twitter. I think they were broadcasting some games on BBC iPlayer in the past, and especially yeah, I feel like as well some of the players are starting to get a little bit more known. Like everyone knows from last season, Ovi played in the BBL.
hmm
Everyone knows Ovi from Love Island. It's just it just brings a little bit more light onto British basketball. Um, but yeah, I feel like, but just simple things like walking past the park and seeing kids playing basketball, that's just happening more and more. I
yeah,
feel like wearing different jerseys, different players' jerseys. It's not always the, and it's not like before. It always used to be Kobe, or always used to be MJ, or it always used to be LeBron, like the big names. But now I'm seeing like players wearing like Lonzo Ball or Doncic, even though they're still like big names, but it's not always LeBron and KD. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they're starting to notice other players too. So yeah, I think it's definitely the interest is definitely picking up. I think the culture around it could do with some changing maybe or some tweaks, but yeah, the interest is definitely there.
Yeah. So also just a question as well about so with we do know about the BBL and such, and there's talent there. There's a lot of talent there, but because it's not put in the media as much, so it looks like compared to everyone else, America and Europe, like our talent is limited when there's actually so much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but as I always say, you could always, get better and improve. Like, players around the world, they one season they're, good players, and the next season they become great players. Do you feel like, well, what would you say about sort of the extra funding on, skill developing trainers specifically being introduced? Do you think that would improve how everything is, or is that not needed?
Um, yeah, 100% think if there was like more emphasis on skill at a young age, 100% it would improve basketball. I feel like that's happening. Like that's happening right now. Like now you're seeing more skills trainers in the UK. You're seeing skills trainers go over to like the States and like Europe and like learn and come back and like get like Coach Maitland.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he's working with like the Pure Sweat guys, and then he's coming back and he's like giving all the info. So I feel like that's happening. I do feel like there needs to be like a big emphasis on like nutrition and like your body as well, because there's now you're getting players that are really skilled out of the UK, and that can like shoot really well, they can dribble, they can do all that stuff. But then you look at them, and then you look at like a same age player like from America, and you see like the body, like, and you could tell that in America they they really live like a pro lifestyle from a young age. So it's not always about lifting weights and stuff, but it's like they're doing some kind of strength training. They're learning about nutrition. They're learning about mobility, and all those little things help. So it doesn't matter if you're really skilled, if you have someone that's equally as skilled and more athletic. So I feel like there needs to be a bigger emphasis on that too. Um, but yeah, the basketball is changing. I feel like the way it's played now, there's a lot more skill in basketball. Like everyone shoots threes now. Big men are dribbling now. Just things like that. That you have like everyone's like got like a float package. Like they can hit floaters, like different finishes, like more creative finishes. The game's like really creative now. It's not just like everyone. It's not just catch and shoot and throw into the post. It's like everyone is like a hybrid. Everyone does a little bit of everything. So I feel like it's a bit of a trickle down effect. Like you see the pros doing that, so you want to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel like all the trainers out there like getting out and like giving sessions and putting out like information on the internet and stuff is having a good effect on the young players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also one thing which I looked at and saw, which for me was kind of how I came about to start doing what I'm doing. The gap of the media. So, like we do know, there are some who follow different leagues and such in the UK, not just the EPL and everything. But having that kind of you know to an extent sort of comical, challenging content where you are with players, you get to visit the players, see what they do, sort of challenges with them, sort of like how the YouTubers like Blight and Filet get to really communicate, have that sort of communication with NBA players. If that was to then kind of transfer over to here, so you're getting more of that with different leagues and different players of different levels, I think that could also increase the popularity of the leagues that we have here.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I feel like even for me, like I don't know. Like look at America, yeah. If you play basketball in America, you know who's good in your age group,
Yeah.
and then you go up the ranks, and you know what people are doing everywhere. Like here, growing up, I didn't know what anyone was doing. Like even now, like I'm seeing players in my age group signing in like different places that I never heard of.
Yeah.
And so like one, like I see them posted on Instagram somewhere or something like that. So I feel like just having like the more coverage we have of these things, like the more it brings everyone together, and it's kind of like the more you bring everyone together and we kind of grow together, the more like competition there is, the more you can see, oh, he's doing that, I have to do this kind of thing. Like, and for me growing up, that was a big thing. That there was players, there was a few players that I watched in my age group that I used to see on like Hootsuite and stuff, and I was like, and I used to just think, oh, so he's doing this now, so that means I have to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? And it makes me work harder, and then I become a better player, and then you have me a better player, then you have a better player over here. That overall with basketball in our age group, it's improved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if everyone sees what someone is doing, then brings everyone else up. So I think if when you look at it from that perspective, like coverage over different players and stuff, and what's going on, and what moves people are making, and just what people are doing, is like a big thing. And it's pretty obvious because you look at America, they're doing the best basketball. They're producing the best basketball players. They got like a really good league, a lot of money. Like, just look at, they've basically laid out there's a blueprint there that you can see. Like everyone can see it, and it's working, and they haven't changed it. They've been doing the same thing for years. So it's if we want what they have, we gotta kind of emulate certain things that they're doing. I feel. Yeah.
Even talking about emulating sort of certain things, they really invest, in themselves. Where here funding has been an ongoing issue. So it's like, yes, we're taking small steps forward, but in order for us to really also go through there is funding. Because I feel like with funding, it opens more doors. Like, for example, if there was enough funding, maybe they could sort of introduce sort of, kind of like a draft to these teams as well, like all the leagues that are around and such, if there was sort of like, okay, it's like you're following this, this person's being ranked here, this person's being ranked here, and then now the scouts of each team are coming to see these players to then also have like it doesn't have to start huge, but it can kind of sort of go into that way, and then it's sort of like, now players are also improving to reach that next level and to get over there. That's bringing more talent. So when we do start more consistently going over and playing against these European teams and in a league going there, we have more of a chance and of that happening, and just open. I just feel like that opens up a lot of doors.
Yeah, just as a player, I just know it feels like I think after the Olympics, that's when they cut the funding for basketball. And it was kind of in my head, I'm thinking, this is crazy because like we've just made it. Fair enough, we didn't do as well as we wanted to do, but like we've seen our players go against the best players in the world, and there was like an excitement around basketball. And then you cut the funding, and it's like, well, why would you do that? Because like we've got all these young players like ready to start training and stuff like that, and you want to go and do that. And I feel like basketball, it's still, even though that happened, the interest is still going up. Players are still getting better. We're getting more players going to Europe, going to the States, to colleges and stuff. Like, and it's just like, if we had the backing of the government, how much more could we be doing right now? Because it feels like they've kind of forgotten about us. And the reason, I don't know, maybe it's like, I know, it's like, I feel like they see basketball as like not one of the most popular sports, when I think it actually is.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if it's a racial thing, because it's predominantly like, it's normally black communities that are playing like the sport, or I don't know what it is, but it kind of, as a player, it just kind of feels like the government don't back us really. And it will be, and it's kind of sad because like I love basketball, and I see like the sport, I see the potential for what the sport can do in this country, and it's kind of like we could be doing so much more right now if we were backed. And yeah, I don't know what the reason is like for that, but hopefully things will change.
Yeah, exactly. Because even just like that, where it starts like people are now, going to the States and going to Europe. We want it to get to a point where, they don't always have to do that, where they can go to a team here. Because now if you do that, and then you start to attract, and then you have other Europeans now coming in, taking on different teams now, and then spreading it, it then makes the league more exciting, more close, and more, just exciting overall. So, yeah, that stopping that funding is like, it hurt. Like you said, fair enough, we didn't do as well as we could have, but we've made it here. We've gone against the best. If we now, invest so that we can be better for the next time, we can then go forward. It's all about making steps forward.
Yeah, it's like there's so much potential. Like, I know so many American players would love to play here. So many European players would like to play here. It's like England. It's like a good country. Like living standards are good here. Like we got big media outlets. Like you think how much money is in football. You can play in League Two football and earn like a good salary, live in a good house. There's so much money like circulating around like different sports in the UK, and it's just like, why don't we build basketball and like help generate through basketball as well. Like, I feel like, yeah, I just feel like a lot of players want to be here, and like players, if like I know for me, if like the BBL was as good as like some of the top European leagues, I wouldn't want to go to Europe. I feel like everyone has to leave to go and make their money somewhere else, and then they come back. Like the top players, that's what they do. So like for me, I feel like okay, I'll play like maybe a season or two here, and then I got to go and make my money, and then like, maybe I'll come back to the BBL. When it should be, players should want to play here in front of like their family and like just their friends and stuff. You see it in Spain, like the ACB. It's a very good league. It's like you could say it's the second best league in the world. Like players actively like turn down NBA contracts so they can play in Spain in front of their people, and it's like it's a big thing to say if we could have something like that, but there's potential there for something great in the UK in terms of basketball, which I think we're kind of overlooking.
Yeah, exactly that. So as we're coming towards the end of everything, or is there sort of any quick fire questions which come to your mind, me, and then also kind of come back off of that?
How long have you been doing this?
So in terms of actually now really mainly focusing on UK basketball, I'll say really maybe I'll say about just before Corona really hit, because I was always thinking about it, but I was so hesitant.
Yeah.
I was mainly focusing on NBA and all such, and then it kind of hit me like, yeah, it's all good and well to also have those discussions and talk about that, but why not get to the bottom of our own, find out different journeys, build that platform, and then through that spark up something. So yeah, I'd say about a few just before that Corona where I really started to then gain contact and speak to people.
So what's the vision?
So the vision is not only to create a general platform for UK basketball where, to branch out where, yes, we get to make content with different players, of different leagues, and, kind of show a more in-depth vision about our culture, sort of see how the players are. They're also cool, funny, great players that you can learn with and have fun with, to eventually build, a huge documentary which I want to do, which can hopefully, my aim for that documentary is to, kind of rupture the government to start that funding. So, just doing that and just to connect with all different types of people in the community and just making it something big.
Yeah, that sounds dope. Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe you can get to ask, because obviously through the tapes and everything I've seen, I kind of figured, but what is your preferred position on the court?
Preferred position?
Yeah.
My preferred position, I say shooting guards, man. Because I like point guard is cool, but it's like it's a lot of responsibility. Me, I just want to get back in stuff. I just want to score the ball. Score the ball, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
I prefer shooting guard for sure.
Yeah, that's nice. I think when I started playing, my coach for me as two guard. I just had to be there, and the point guard was huge. I was just kind of learning off the point guard that was there. But yeah, it's a huge responsibility. You got to dictate the game, the pace of your team. Find everyone in their spaces. You're like the pinnacle of everything, and it is a lot. It is a lot. So
you're the guy that has to organize, whereas shooting guard, I feel like you can have more fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can sort of freestyle, do your own thing, get back and do what you need to do on that side of the floor, and then support where you need to support. It is a nice, because I know obviously especially a lot of kids now, when I've gone to courts and everything, everybody wants to be point guard. Everyone wants to be point guard.
Everyone wants to be a point guard. Until you get to like a high level and you see what it's really like to be a point.
Yeah, exactly. So when even the point guard on my team, he was like, okay, because he's been in that role for such a while, he's gotten used to it, and he's like, there's a lot of responsibility because you really have to be on point. Like, if you don't set things up, you could eventually break the team down, so
Yeah.
it is so much responsibility.
Yeah.
So people who play point guard, respect to them because that's
Point guards are doing a lot nowadays: scoring, facilitating, rebounding, everything.
exactly. Everyone wants to jump like Westbrook. Everyone wants to cross like Kyrie. Everyone wants to shoot like. That's basically everyone's trying to build that perfect player now, and yeah, which is good because it's going to increase the level of basketball for the future.
Yeah.
So even in terms of certain aspects of talking about those, kind of going a bit away from the actually going for both. Who would you say is one of your favorite teams in the BBL, and who would be one of your favorite teams in the NBA?
Okay. In the BBO, I would say before they folded, I would have said the Royals because I knew a couple guys on the team, and then I liked what they were doing in the community. They were going into the community, and they had like a purpose. I felt like they were trying to do something more than just basketball.
Yeah,
Um, but a team in the BBL that I like that right now, I like Leicester.
yeah,
Leicester Riders, just because, like, first of all, I like Loughborough University. Like, I feel like they just seem to be one of them places just do things right,
yeah,
like through the uni team and stuff. And then this is kind of the same with like the Riders team in that area. They got good coaches. They're consistently good every year. They bring in good players. They don't seem to have any drama in that team. Like the one of the pioneers in terms of like what they're doing with like building stadiums and going into Europe, and yeah, they just seem like a good organization. So I like them. And in the NBA, I'd say right now, before this season, I would have said Brooklyn because before KD and Kyrie, because they were just I really like Spencer Dinwiddie. I like D'Angelo Russell. They just look like a fun team. You can see it like when these players going off, like the team is just the bench is going. It's like having a good time and stuff. So they're a fun team. I say this season. Uh, I don't really follow teams like that. I don't really like players, but I like the Lakers.
yeah.
I like the Lakers. Yeah, I'll probably pick them to
Win it
to
all.
get. Yeah, I'm
even,
rolling with the Lakers.
even in the bubble as well, yeah.
Think so. Who do you think? Who do you think?
I'm conflicted because I was thinking, yeah, Lakers. Maybe obviously with Avery Bradley not returning and such. I think
Yeah,
the team who kind of has it all round may lack a bit in terms of the shooting, but the Clippers are really
they're
dangerous
just a
team.
solid team, like from
Yeah,
every from point guard to center, every position they've got players. So yeah, I can't argue with that, to be honest. But I don't know, playoff LeBron.
that's
The
the
same thing
thing.
about playoff LeBron. I don't know. I can't count him out. I can't
Exactly.
count him.
And the fact that he missed last season as well, it's like now he's
Out.
coming back for vengeance. Like,
And now he's like now the whole. I mean, I know like they missing players, but the whole team is rested now going into the playoffs because of the whole break and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like LeBron right now and the Lakers.
Okay, yeah. I do hope, once Corona is all gone and everything resumes back, where then now, more stuff can be more in the physical, even just come and see the team, vlogging their training, I, I'm okay shooter, sometimes I'm a bit streaky, so like I'll be challenging you guys to a 3 point,
Yeah,
maybe a bit of ones, I'll just put all my good highlights there and leave it as that because, I need to get
good.
back. But yeah, it was
And
great having you on the show and just seeing, basketball from, another person's eyes or their journey. And, because aim is also to reach different people so that they can also see that, yeah, okay, I know I can also do that as well, and then they get motivated to do that, or just build up the popularity.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Like, I think you're doing a dope thing. I think more people should just do, like, instead of like you're a doer, and like some people think a lot of stuff, but you're out here doing it, putting it together, learning as you go. I think it's really good. So yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be a part of your journey.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Now I'll talk to you later. We'll catch up again very soon.
Yeah, catch up soon. Peace.
Peace.
Look, check it, and I don't need motivation. Me, I had that when I was stuck up in the station.